I now give the floor to Her Excellency María Fernanda Espinosa Garcés, President of the 73rd session of the General Assembly, to make a statement. You have the floor.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Your Excellency, Nasser Bourita, Foreign Affairs Minister of the Kingdom of Morocco and President of the Conference, Secretary General, Special Representative of the Secretary General for International Migration, esteemed heads of state and government, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to begin by expressing my thanks to the people and government of the Kingdom of Morocco for their generous hospitality as host of this conference. Morocco, in Berber, means the land of God that is now hosting this United Nations conference. This conference is a clear proof of the full validity of multilateralism as the most effective tool to grapple with one of the most significant challenges of our times, international migration. Your Excellencies, migration is part of the history of humanity. This phenomenon has always existed. There is no country or people in the world that has not been changed by it. Over the last few years, we have witnessed major migratory movements that have even caused the death of thousands of human beings. Let us remember that no people leaves behind their family or land unless they have a powerful reason to do so. Conflict, war, climate change, better opportunities elsewhere, and so on. Hence, migrants are brave, they are creative, they are entrepreneurial, but above all, they are human beings. Today is an historic moment because we are putting a human face on migration and because we will, with this compact, establish an agreement and a commitment to cooperate, exchange and learn from each other about all the dimensions of migration and the challenges faced by countries of origin, transit and destination. Your Excellencies, the compact is a guide. It is an instrument with a range of standards. It is a reference point for our public policies in the domain of migration. The compact is a global response to a reality that we can only tackle together, because international migration is, through its very nature, a cross-border and global phenomenon. Your Excellencies, yesterday we commemorated the International Day Against Genocide. The compact also represents a common vision to put an end to xenophobic discourses and xenophobia, which may lead to tragic histories which we do not want to experience ever again. The compact which we will adopt today is a flexible instrument which can be adapted to the needs, visions and priorities of every country. It stimulates joint work and cooperation in all levels: states, local governments, the United Nations system, civil society, the private sector, and communities in the diaspora. Let there be no doubt, the compact does not affect the sovereignty of any state. On the contrary, it strengthens it. No state, regardless of how powerful it is, can respond alone to the challenges posed by migration. Good practices that the compact promotes, in reality, are already being implemented in many places in the world. For instance, in my recent official visits to France and Canada last November, I was able to get to know firsthand marvelous examples of inclusion, welcome and good practices. This shows us that for implementation, we're not starting from scratch. Your Excellencies, the negotiations have been long, and they have certainly been trying and difficult, but they have been worth it. The efforts have brought us to this point. I would like to express my gratitude to all states for participating in the negotiations with openness and a constructive spirit. I would like to underline the sterling work, tenacity and diplomatic skill of the permanent representatives of Mexico and Switzerland to the United Nations, Ambassadors Juan José Gómez Camacho and Jörg Lauber, who facilitated the negotiations under the leadership of the former President of the General Assembly, Miroslav Lajčák, and I would like to convey our gratitude to him too. I would also like to welcome the profound commitment of the Secretary General himself and Luis Arba, the Special Representative, who have always supported this intergovernmental process. Your Excellencies, 70 years ago, the international community adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which recognizes that all persons, without any kind of discrimination, are born free and equal in dignity and rights. The adoption of the Global Compact is the best tribute that we can pay to the 70th anniversary of the Universal Declaration. Leaving a country of origin, crossing one or many borders and settling in a country, whichever it may be, means that guaranteeing fundamental rights of migrants is more important than ever before. A mother of Mali who crosses the desert to get to Niger, a student from India who goes to Canada, or a US pensioner who wants to move to Ecuador. All of those people, absolutely all of them, are seeking better, greater opportunities, opening the doors of new worlds, enriching cultural diversity, and contributing to the development both of communities that welcome them and those that they left behind. The Global Compact, which we will adopt today, puts those people at the heart of action, dealing with the root causes of migration. The Compact also opens up opportunities for us to work actively and in a coordinated manner together against one of the worst scourges of the century, which is the smuggling and trafficking of persons. More than 70% of victims are women and children. Your Excellencies, to conclude, I wish to leave you with a message. Migration, the movement of persons across borders from countries and regions, will continue to happen, and it will continue to change us. That is why it is essential that we have a common guidebook. Cooperation, solidarity with responsibility is precisely what this compact gives us. Perhaps there is no other place, no more appropriate place in the world than the African continent, and particularly the Kingdom of Morocco, to adopt this compact, which will be the Compact of Marrakech, the Marrakech Compact. I say this because precisely in Africa, the first great expansion of humanity began, the first major immigration. Africa is our place of origin as a species. It is our place of origin, and it is now our place of destination, the destination that hosts us here to build a future in which everybody has a place. Thank you.
I thank the President of the General Assembly for her statement. I now